Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The purpose of this video is to show you that homesteading isn't all glamorous, if you thought so. So, this is a Sunday morning, and I am heading out late to let the chickens out because it's been pouring all morning. My yard is just a puddle, again, low-lying areas, and it takes sometimes to go through these unexpected storms so that you can see your system failures. As I've stated before, my yard, especially since the hurricane, has several low-lying areas. I had to have the yard graded after picking up tons and tons of trees, and there's just lots of dips and puddles. Anyway, so a lot going on here, but you see all the water. I have to let my babies out. Okay, it's just nasty. That's a deeper puddle, so I have to look for little dry mounds. So I definitely have to have a lot of soil delivered to raise up these areas. It's just okay. And not to go off on a tangent, but yesterday there were several chemtrails over my property, down the street, in my city, just tons for miles and miles and miles. Okay. And I told my son, we were driving in the car, and I said, look, there's chemtrails all over us. They're making more chemtrails as we drove yesterday. And I said, okay, from what I've seen online about the chemtrails, I said, tomorrow we're going to have bad weather. I said, so if there's a big storm, look, there's one of my white rocks from my new flower bed with the rocks. And there's a white one right there. So that will be moved to a totally different location. But this rain is coming down. I have my umbrella over me. I'm wearing my raincoat. Got my boots, still in my boots. You see this area? I'm going to put a bridge here. I'm going to raise this whole thing up, put a floor in there. That'll be rebuilt later in the year, next year. I don't know. I'll rebuild. All of this is supposed to be a flower bed. It's going to be compost here, and there'll be more structures back there. And as you see in the background, the fence is going up. There you go. The wind has this on the ground. So these are the ups and downs, or the downs, of homesteading. It has been raining on and off, like weekly, for just, I don't know, this whole winter season, December, January, just the rain. I've never seen so much rain in all my days in January. And it's not so much cold. I'm wearing a t-shirt, like a jogging suit top, my sweater, and a raincoat. It's not cold, it's just that wetness. Not humid, but it's not cold. I have to pick that up. I don't have any hands right now. So again, you see areas that are much deeper. I have bulbs planted all there, firecracker bulbs and ginger lily, and you see how that area is just saturated. It's like a pond. It's a pond. This water will go over my shoe. I'm not planning on walking through there. Even in that area, it's higher back there, but there's still some dips back there. And then back there, there's also dip over there. The back area that's still wooded, I guess that's soggy, but I don't see puddles back there. And back there under that tree is a very low-lying area. The water there has come up to my shin on my leg. Not that there is a shin on my head or my arm. To my shin. Okay. Anyway, that is my butterfly bush plant, because I will have that over there somewhere once I work a little bit more on that area. But this is just, so this whole thing will be, torn down and rebuilt, because again, the goats tore it up. But the thing about it is, you see, this is where we put the chickens to run to hang out all day when it's raining or too cold to be out. But what has happened, the water from out here pours into here, and then it's a pond in here, and it messed up saturated all of the hay. So I had to put some hemp wood down there and over cinder blocks to raise up the floor so that they're not, in the wetness here. And it's only on a partial side for now. So this morning, I have to let them out because they're in a cage. And right now, this is the only place they have to go to be sheltered and out of the water. So I will be building smaller little shelters, rain shelters, chicken rain shelters. And they will be small, but just places for them to go to, go hang out in the woods or wherever, and they're dry. That's long overdue. Long overdue. But that is definitely needed. But this is where they'll be this morning when I let them out. They eat up in here. They normally just come in here to just eat, to make sure everyone eats. And then they could either lay eggs in here or lay eggs up in their chicken coop. But again, I don't have flooring down on that side. So let me open this up. Again, I am using my one hand umbrella, one hand phone. So right now, it's wet in there now. There's puddles in there now. And I'm sure under all this wood. And you see, I just have sitting on cinder blocks. It's to keep them out the wetness. So when I rebuild, they will have a real floor, a whole floor for the entire thing, so that they have a place. And also, that's going to be a real chicken run there. So it's higher ground. So what I think I will do, once the chicken run is built, I probably should do it now, have soil delivered and raise that area. I don't want it to flood. I'm going to have it partially covered with some the see-through plastic, what's that, see-through, plastic roofing, vinyl, whatever that's called, the see-through one, the ones that I have some on that one there, but that one's gray. This one I have white on top of that one. But I'm gonna cover half of it with the see-through so that they could come out and not get wet, and the other half, or maybe I cover it all. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. They just need a place to stay dry. Chickens don't want to be to be wet. And I hate knowing that they're gonna be out here today. And I know my chickens, they're gonna be out here because Miss Red, Gloria, my Rhode Island Red, she's going to have them in the rain, for sure. For sure, unless I get them in here and just lock them in here. And then they'll be in here until the rain stops. Also, I did not cover up. I made that firewood rack there, but I didn't cover it up yet. I have to finish building it. I want to put a little roof over it, too. I have some shingles and make a little roof over it to keep my wood dry. That's the whole purpose. Get the wood off the ground and keep it dry, and I haven't covered it up. Too many projects. Okay, so before I get the birds out, it's probably best to let me get the food and stuff out first. You see how wet this is? So that's just water. Just water. Look at this. Craziness. Just water. My garden is watered. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. And there's all the shingles right there under there. So I'm going to make, like I said, not today for sure, but they will have little areas, like even back there. I'll make a little covered area for them. There's a huge tree that fell down back there, and when they're back there, they go under that tree. Sometimes they go under the deck. Sometimes. Where else? They go back there, but it's really, especially since it's winter, it used to be more covered, canopied by the trees, but it's winter time, so a lot of the leaves are just gone back there, so they don't have, and they like to hang out back there, but there's no covered shelter back there. They could also go in that little goat shelter area there, and sometimes they go inside the actual barn, the goat barn. So that's and they used to go under the house, but I have under the house blocked. When it was cold, I didn't want the wind under the house, so I blocked off all entrances to go under the house, because we're in a raised house. So they don't have that out. And they can also go into my camper. That's right. On that side of the property over there, the camper, they go under in the front. There it is. They could go under the camper when they're on that section of the property. So those are the areas that they do. So they do have areas to stay dry. They have areas. But I just want to put some little shelters. It won't take me long, probably 30 minutes, if that, to build something And they'll be very generic, probably like 2-3 feet high, and about 2-3 feet long. And it's just a canopy, a wooden canopy structure with a little roof on it for them, and it'll have a raised floor so that they can get out the rain. So okay, let me get my babies out. Let me get them fed. But the whole purpose of the video was to show you, again, system failures, but more so to show you that when you're homesteading, it's more to it. I see a lot of these cute little glamorous videos online, which they are nice, to see, perfect conditions, beautiful sunny days, people with lots of money to pour into their raised gardens and their chicken coops, and they're showing you all this prettiness. Oh, it's so pretty, and look how cute all this is. But if you're really homesteading, you have these type of things to contend with. You have to come out in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the ice, the heat. Because guess what? You have animals, and they still need to eat and get out. They can't be pinned up all day. You have to build, and it takes time to build. Everything doesn't happen in a 10-15 minute video. It takes time to build structures, especially if you don't have carpentry skills. Okay, it's taking time to build them. Planting things don't just plant a seed and then boop, you got this beautiful garden the next day. It takes time, people. And then discovering things like this that you did not plan for. Oh, I have all these low-lying areas, and look, the water is just pouring into this chicken run here. Now I need to put a raised floor in there so my chickens aren't standing in water. These are things that you may not have thought about, considered, it just never even crossed your mind. And now you're like, that's another project. Or let me move it to high ground. Every area is saturated. Some areas are higher than others, but they're still saturated. So you have to do it. And hurricanes that tear up everything, tore up my umbrellas, and tore up my decking, and tore up my gardens. The Arctic blast killed a lot of my plants and several other people's. So I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you, there's more to homesteading than just, oh, look at the cute little chicken coop. Oh, look at the cute little piggy, at the cute little goat. There's lots of things to keep this running. Time. So if you're not prepared to dedicate time and money, and lots of it, lots of time and lots of money, and even though I don't have lots of money, it still sucks money out of me every single payday. Every single payday. You're always on the homestead. So now today is raining. I want to do rainwater catchment, but I did not wash out my new barrels. They still have soap in them. So now I'm about to hit them with the water hose. Yes, the water hose. And really quickly, so I can catch some of this rainwater, because I could use for my garden. So that's why I have to go. So let me feed my animals. I'm going to open up the goat door, so if it stops raining, she could come out. But her food and stuff will stay in there today with the door wide open, and she could venture out if she wants to. But goats do not like rain. And the chickens, oh my goodness. So you see, this is soaked here. They would normally pop out of there and run across the yard, but all this water. So I don't know if I carry them out 2 by 2 so that they don't have to walk through the water, and put them in the chicken run. So this is a miserable day to be a chicken and a goat for sure. I'm under the umbrella, so I'm okay. But just showing you misery. I see that stump. The more the rain hits the soil, it was a big base from a tree that fell down. You see the tree, but at least the weather and the elements are making it a more tangible project for me to take hold of. So after some time, I'll actually chop that up, and that may even become firewood. Who knows? Or at least I could burn it, because it was a huge tree root that the guy, for $500, graded the yard, and then left a big old pile of debris there in the yard. Big pile of debris. And we still haven't moved this, as you know, because you keep seeing it. But it will be, slowly but surely. All the sticks and twigs will go into the burn pile of the firewood rack. And hopefully I can get the big pieces chopped up. They will be moved as well. And again, in the near future, I really want to put an average size pool here. Is one of my dreams, but that's so far. I don't want to say so far. It's just not in the right now. It's not the right now, but I have to clean up this area first. And like I said, I want to have like a little walkway coming off the deck with a pool here. Is the plan. Okay, but too many other projects to do until then, and you're only seeing portions of the yard. But again, just remember this when you think. I think everybody should homestead. You just have to homestead on a scale. You could have one rain barrel next to the house collecting your rainwater. You could just go get your 2 to 4 chickens and put them right next to your front or back door, just to have them there. But you have to remember they off the ground, not just the coop, but the run. Otherwise, they come out the coop and they're in this. They're in this. The run has to be elevated, raised, or covered so it's not saturated. So, anyway, lots of things to think of. Look, I still have to put a door on that. So many things going on here on the home front. And look, I'm not regretting it. This is our home. This is our property. So I'm trying every day to make it the best I can. The best I can. So what, you don't have to call it homestead, prepping, whatever. It doesn't even need to be a title. If you have property and you don't, especially if you don't have the money to just pay someone to do all this stuff overnight for you, there's always going to be things to do on your property. Raking leaves, flower beds, fences. I mean, there's always something to do on the property. So, it's work. It's work to be a homeowner, and it's work to be a homesteader. And if you're trying to be as self-sufficient as possible, it's work and it's time. So today's Sunday. We normally don't work on Sundays. Mondays are really busy, but I really wanted to, and probably sometime Monday morning, we may be able to put my son and I to put up 2 more panels. Again, they're not in concrete yet. Still waiting. The surveyors came. There were some complications. We'll hear back from them on Monday. Follow up on Monday with some pricing on there, and then hopefully by Monday we can get 2 more panels up. So you see, it's a lot. That's like 120 across, and that's horizontal fencing. Horizontal, and there's a lot more to cover. So even putting up 2 more panels, yeah, it's not going to cover much. So it's going to take us a while to get it done, and that's an expense. And I'll give you some numbers next time on how much. The price of lumber is going down. The price of the fencing, those dropped from $2.25 for a pine fence picket to $1.98. They were that price over a year ago. And they jumped up to like $6-8, and now they're slowly coming back down again. And then the 4x4s even dropped down. They were over 9 something, and now they were like $8.88 the other day when we went out there. And I'm using my pass load like automatic nail gun, which I love. And I could always go back in there and screw in screws later, but right now I'm just trying to get it up. And that was a fast project for my son and I, and we did that one night after dark. And they're just propped up by fence pickets. So again, projects, and still haven't gotten that swing up yet. It's just too many other projects. Okay, guys, let me go. My birds are hungry. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this video is not to discourage you from being from homesteading. Not at all. Just trying to prepare you in advance that it is more to homesteading than all those pretty videos out there showing you that. If you're not willing to be out here in this pouring rain, feeding animals, letting animals out, getting dirty before you even go to church on a Sunday morning, if you're not prepared to do this, then don't. Definitely keep it small scale. You hear? Small scale. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, you can do this. It just takes a little time and effort. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Love you guys. Hit the subscribe button. Again, not talking you out of it, just telling you there's more to homesteading than meets the eye. There is more to homesteading that meets the eye. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Until our next time, hit the subscribe button, hit like if you like the content here, and happy homesteading. Woo! Let's feed those chickens.